Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another Morning Coffee Talks. Years ago, I had a chance to be in the audience for Family Feud, and this was a time that Steve Harvey was hosting. And what most people don't realize was during the commercial breaks, yes, he would, talk to his staff and they would get things right. He would talk to the attendants, people who was actually on the game show and stuff, and just make sure everything was going right. But, you know, yes, he was cracking jokes, but not only that, he was dropping a lot of jewels of life lessons. And for me, like looking back at it now, I really think he was practicing for becoming a motivational speaker that he is today. And me being there, one thing that stuck out to me was he said, you have to be more specific about what you want in life. And for me, that really changed my mentality on how I operate, not just in my prayers, but, in my career, my marriage, and my relationships. Because if you're vague about what you want, don't be surprised when life gives you something you don't want, right? And so, again, you have to be specific about what you want in life. Again, that comes to your goals, your favorite relationship, and also your success. Many of us go through life asking for success, asking for happiness, asking for more money without actually defining what that actually means, right? Now, again, for me, years later, I apply this rule to everything that I do, everything. So, what does it mean to be specific and not be vague? So, when you say how, let's say you pray and say, "Hey God, I want a better life," but you never define what that means, right? You have to start asking for specific things. You have to have clarity with your purpose. You have to ask for things like, hey, discipline with my actions, put the right people around me. And I think versus saying just give me a better life, if you define those things after that, which I just alluded to, I think you'll start to see real change. And again, I'm a living testimony to this as well, about me starting to be, not even starting, but me being more specific about what I want. Or here's something I used to say, hey, I want to be more successful, right? But then I started defining it, things like, hey, help me develop the discipline, right? To really put action behind going to the gym, to put action behind building a business, to put action behind doing something that'll impact lives, right? And that's just a good example of something that I do when it comes to really defining what I want success to be for me. So I would say the next time that you're looking to ask, hey, I want to be successful, maybe write it down if you can't think about it right away, but really write that down about what that definition would be. How would you define that for your life, and what exactly would you want? And for the husbands out there, I think many of us get married and we're very vague. And I think at one point in my marriage, I know that definitely led to a little frustration and disappointment. But I would say if you want to win your wife's respect, love, and support, then you have to communicate what that looks like, right? You can't just be like, I wish we had more quality time, right? You have to take the lead and say, hey, let's set aside, I don't know, I'll take me for example. Let's set aside every Sunday because we both off, right? And on that Sunday, that's our whole day together. Throughout the week, we might see each other for an hour, hour and a half, 30 minutes a day. But I intentionally set that time aside where there's no phones, there's no distractions, right? It's just us. But that's defining what more quality time looks like. Again, just say it clearly to your partner about what you're expecting, because they're not gonna read minds, right? When it comes to jobs and your business and stuff like that, if you approach it with, hey, I just want to make more money, then you're not gonna be satisfied because there's no real target. Yeah, you could have made extra 2,000, you could have actually made extra 500, you could actually made extra 50, right? But if you don't define it, then you're never gonna be satisfied because there's no real target. Um, what I'm even learning to this day, that the most successful people define their goals clearly, right? They define, the income goals, career milestones, and the relationships inside their business that they want to build. So, like for instance, like I said, if you say, "Hey, I want to make more money," okay, say I want to make an extra 10,000 this year, but by doing X, Y, Z, right? The action behind it. You can't just be like, "Yeah, I want to make more money. I want to make extra 10K," but what's the action behind it? How you define it? How you gonna get there, right? What is that goal so you can put it in motion, right? Again, most of us probably can't think about that step by step in our mind. So write it down, right? Get your journal, maybe, put your notebook on your phone and just really write that down, what that look like. Listen, for me, life is like Family Feud, right? If you're unclear about your answers, you're gonna lose, right? If you just throwing stuff at the wall hoping to stick, which is a fun part of the game, but the people that's clear on the game about things that make sense, they don't lose, they win, right? People who drift through life without direction, they really end up in a destination that they never really wanted. Here's another example, right? A man who says, "Oh, I just want to be happy," but never defines what happiness means to him, right? That could be a million things. Everybody has their own definition of happiness, but how are you defining what that really look like? My boy Jim Rohn, man, for him, he said that success is, if a man say you want to be successful, right? And he goes out and he says, "You know what? I just want to go live in some mountains and, bird watch or something like that." And he goes out, he gets the plans, he gets the money, he builds the cabin, right? He puts everything how he wants the cabin to be. He buys binoculars and he starts bird watching. He track what kind of birds. Like, that's happiness. He defining everything on what it looks like to be happy for you or for him, right? Maybe your husband say, "Hey, I just want a good marriage," again, but you never outline what that looks like, right? Or "I just want to be successful," but you never outline what that looked like. How are you identifying the skills, the habits, and the network you're going to need, right? These are the things you have to be specific about, to really not live in that vague area. And I think that'll definitely, make you more successful. But I just wanted to kind of share that story and how that relates of going to Family Feud and that little tidbit. Again, Steve talked about a whole bunch of stuff. We was there for like 2-3 hours. He really could have, listen, man, that dude he was with the King of Comedies. He could have sold out a show, right? He could probably sell out the Fox Theater in Atlanta. He could. But it was just smart. Like, me thinking about it now, like how he did it was very smart. But again, listen, be specific. And don't settle for what life gives you because you being vague and you're not defining, what you really want. And again, especially for the husbands out there, you have to define what you want in your marriage. You have to communicate that. And it just comes down to planning. Everything comes down to planning, man. Too many of us just drift. And we get mad at when we just receive what life gives us. That's not how it works. You have to take lead on what you want out of this life, right? Listen, if you don't have clear answers, you're just gonna lose. And it's the same way it worked in Family Feud. So that's my connection, tying it back to the game show. And again, just remember, life works the same way. The world, for me, responds to the men who know exactly what they want and they're not afraid to go get it. So that's something you gotta ask yourself. You've been specific enough with your life, or you just taking whatever comes your way. So, hey, drop a comment below. Subscribe to the Husband Code if it's your first time. If you've been watching for a while, subscribe. Also, If you got any value from this video, hit that like button. And also, we dropping videos like this every single day. Hit that notification bell. And until next time, I appreciate you. Much love. Peace.